This is an ABC News special report. Now reporting, George Stephanopoulos.
Good day. We're coming on the air right now because the House of Representatives is taking the next step in the impeachment of President Trump. There's the House floor right now where they are voting on the resolution to name the House managers who are going to prosecute the case against President Trump in that Senate trial and transmit the articles of impeachment over to the Senate. Remember, on December 18th, President Trump became the third American president in history to impeach. 2 articles of impeachment, one for abuse of power, the second for obstruction of Congress. Today, the House Speaker announced that she was taking the next steps, appointing those managers to prosecute the case and authorizing the transmittal of these articles. When I go to our senior congressional correspondent, Mary Bruce, there on Capitol Hill, she named 7 House managers, prosecutors for this case, Mary, including 2 familiar faces, Adam Schiff, who led this effort on the House Intelligence Committee, Jerry Nadler, the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee.
Yeah, and George, this is a diverse group with varied experience representing districts from across the country, and it is also a group that has a lot of experience litigating, and that was by design. Speaker Pelosi has said that she wanted a team that felt comfortable in a courtroom. Now, in addition to the chairman, which was expected, you also have Chairwoman Zoe Lofgren of California. She actually, this will be her 3rd impeachment. She was a Hill staffer during Nixon's impeachment. It also includes Congresswoman Val Demings. She's actually the only member of the team who sits on both the Judiciary and Intelligence committees that have been investigating this matter. And then there are 2 freshmen, Sylvia Garcia of Texas and Jason Crow of Colorado. And he is of particular interest because, of course, he is a veteran. He has also become a leading voice on national security. But, George, he was also one of those moderate Democrats who wrote that op-ed back in September urging Congress to move to impeach. And it was that op-ed that in many ways opened the floodgates, encouraged Speaker Pelosi to take this step. And now, just 4 months later, this afternoon, he will join the other House managers and march across the Capitol to deliver the articles of impeachment to the Senate. And then, George, this team is going to have to get to work and quickly. Some of these members were just informed that they're going to be having this position in the last 24 hours. They are now going to have to strategize, maybe do a little cramming, and prepare for this historic trial that starts in earnest on Tuesday.
Yeah, they're likely to start arguing that case next week. You see there the House does have the votes to pass this resolution. I want to go to John Carl at the White House. And, John, so we know these are going to be the prosecutors for the House in the Senate. What do we know about who's going to be defending the president on the floor of the Senate?
George, the White House hasn't officially announced it, but our understanding is that the White House counsel, Pat Cipollone, and his deputies will be among those arguing the case for the president, as well as Jay Sekulow, his longtime outside lawyer. No presence here of Rudy Giuliani, but this will be the team, mostly the White House counsel leading the defense here. The president, his team are expecting a short trial. They've gone back and forth at times. You've seen the president muse about calling witnesses, saying that he wanted to see witnesses in the Senate trial. That's something that the Republicans in the Senate made it clear, at least the Republican leadership, would be a bad idea. More recently, the president has said he would like this trial to be dismissed at the outset. That's not going to happen either. This will start. There will be a trial. You will see the House managers lay out their case. You will see the president's legal team lay out their defense. And sometime after that, the question of whether or not there will be witnesses will be voted on. It will require a majority in the Senate.
And Dan Abrams, these positions are so key because really in a Senate trial, the senators are basically spectators. They're watching everything that's happening. It's the House managers and the president's team are going to be doing all the work and all the presentations.
Right. The House managers are effectively the prosecutors. And because there's 7 of them, expect them to kind of divide up the duties the way prosecutors might. In a typical trial, you'd have, let's say, 2 or 3 prosecutors, and maybe one would say, I'm going to handle these particular witnesses. I'm going to handle the opening statement. You'll handle the closing argument. Here, I think you're going to have, particularly when it comes to the articles, you will have certain managers who will be the experts, so to speak, on obstruction of Congress as opposed to abuse of power. You will certainly see a divide there. I think within abuse of power, you'll see focuses by particular managers who are handling particular issues. So in that sense, this is going to be kind of like a trial, except in most trials, you don't have 7 prosecutors.
Exactly. and Terry Moran, we just heard John Carl say that the president's team hopes this is a short trial. If they follow the Clinton model, it's likely to go for somewhere between 2 and 4 weeks. They'll give those presentations, give each side a chance to answer questions, ask and answer questions as well, and then vote on whether to have witnesses and then move on to dismissal and whether to acquit or convict. But in so many ways, this has only happened, this is only the 3rd time in American history. Each impeachment is basically, in some ways, starting anew and is a creature of its time.
It is. This is an area where the precedent is rare, as you point out, and different historical circumstances, different political circumstances will shape different courses of impeachment. This moment we're watching right now, the appointment of the managers who will physically take the articles of impeachment that were voted on last month to the Senate, it's a historic moment, and it's also an inflection point. It's the point at which the House loses control. The Democrats lose control of the process. So the process you just outlined, that's the way it's gone before, but it will be determined. Will there be witnesses called? Will there be new evidence allowed in, like the evidence that we've seen emerge recently, today, in fact, from the House committees that did this investigation? Will the president get his way to call witnesses like Hunter Biden? All of that is now out of the control of Nancy Pelosi and House Democrats. It's in the hands of Mitch McConnell and the Senate Republicans.
Let's go back to the floor of the House right now. It does appear that there are enough votes to pass this resolution. Not a surprise right there. Pretty strict party line vote. One Democrat appears to have voted against the resolution. One independent, a former Republican, likely Justin Amash, has voted for the resolution. And the next step in the process after this is gavelled to a close will actually be steps. The members of the House managers will walk over the articles of impeachment to the Senate later this afternoon, deliver those articles of impeachment to the Senate. More formal proceedings likely tomorrow when the Chief Justice will come to the Senate chamber, likely in the afternoon, take the oath from Chuck Grassley, one of the senior senators on the Republican side, and then give the oath of office as a juror to all of the senators as well. We're going to cover all of that. We'll be back around 5 p.m. this afternoon for the formal walking of the articles. You just heard the gavel right there. This resolution has passed, so we'll be back for that next step in the process. In the meantime, have a good afternoon.
This has been a special report from ABC News.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.